Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And well, guys. Congratulations for literally catching the bottom of Bitcoin and pumping it back to 71,000 bucks. And I'm really happy. We have booked 50% gains on Bitcoin around 70,800 bucks, and we're just gonna let it ride. I think the $73,000 is next for Bitcoin, and it's a very nice broadening top. I mean, every live stream I've been very vocal about it. The dips are for buying. We literally caught two big dips on Bitcoin, in the past few days. The first dip will literally pick a bottom around here at 62,100, pumping back up to almost like 10% gains, and another dip that we literally caught around 63,000 bucks, which is now running and almost 14% up. So amazing, guys. Lot of I'm very much confident about Bitcoin when it comes to the swing plays. Actually, I mean, honestly, it's very hard for for us to miss it. And I promised you as well, every member, I promised you personally that I won't let you miss this pump. And yes, we did not miss it. We rode this whole pump, and amazing. I mean, even our prop members did recovered from the loss. Right now, they are sitting in a small profits, but profits are profit. A 6%, 0.6% gain so far they're sitting with. So I think overall this was a very good long. Now what we are expecting on Bitcoin, guys. So before I deep dive into the USD DOM, because there is some I would not say like we have a bigger thing to worry about it, but there is of course something that is literally worrying me a lot on the USD DOM on the hard-term time frame. There is something I'll be taking separately after we discuss the short-term time frame on the Bitcoin. Now, the short-term time frame of the Bitcoin, it seems to like a broadening top pattern is forming here. The bottom might be in once we start flipping above 70,500, the bottom would be in. And what I would say is that Bitcoin literally did a truncation, so that is going to be your truncated wave 5 over here, and this is going to be your wave 4, and we are likely going to run back turbo for BTC towards 73,000 and maybe even to 74,000 as well. I mean, wave 5, of course, it can do anything actually. So honestly speaking, ladies and gentlemen, I do think right now you should not be shorting it. I'm just simply going to hold my just simply going to hold my longs on the coin margin longs, as well as the spot bags, guys. We literally got the spot bags from 39,000. We gave an opportunity to long it. You should have did the coin margins, if you don't have a spot bags, than the normal purpose futures. But that's exactly what you really need to take a call, because this is the season where dips are for buying, and every dips you're gonna get it, you're gonna make 10% minimum of these dips. Actually, I mean, I literally made almost like a 20-25% gains, easy peasy. I mean, for like a whole move, unleveraged gains. But if you talk about my coin margins, I made more than because I had 5x leverage long on coin margin. I made more than 1.5x overall in just like few days on BTC position. So I'm really happy. I mean, now my spot bags are 1.5x up more in just with the help of Bitcoin. Forget about any other shit coins or whatever it's pumping out there, whether it's RWA or whatever, but or meme coins basically, or you guys are trying to make 1x 10x on meme coins. But yes, I mean, this is a very big game if you're talking about as a trader, talking just from the technical analysis perspective. Now, I think at this point, what I'm expecting on Bitcoin is, let's say if it flips as a level, as I mentioned, if it goes above the levels of 70,500, the bottom would be in, and I would be expecting Bitcoin to do something like this towards, pumping back up for one more push up to 72,800, maybe even $73,000, and then, coming back down to the weekly opens of 67,284. This double bottom, this double top is what I'm expecting it to retest at some point. The 67,700 is going to be tested at some point in my view, and yes, I think this is how it's going to go. So I'm looking to take profits, or maybe fully closing my Bitcoin long that I gave on spot trade that I gave on $63,000. I'm literally going to close it over here for like coin margins, and just gonna let my spot bags ride that we have from $39,000 and $16,800. So that's what I have for Bitcoin on the low term time frame. Now, why do I think that there is a potential a dump might happen? The only reasoning is over here because you see we have a channel first, and the move that we got on an upside. Now, you got an impulsive move over here. The first leg that we got, as you can see over here on the screen. Let me just show you. So this was the move that you got first. Now that move literally happened in 5 waves. But after that, another move that happened on the downside was a zigzag move, which was like ABC, and C ended with the bullish wolf waves, which I literally caught it with like bullish wolf waves. So we are likely going to run up back turbo. So basically, now that we got a move on the downside with ABC, we are seeing a very similar move on an upside for a very similar lag on an upside. So this is like a corrective move, impulsive move on an upside. Now I think this is like ABC. Possibility is always there. Why? Because the move here was perfect, but the move on the downside that we got was very, very, very deeper pullback, I would say. Normally a wave 2 in a wave 5 would not give you that deeper pullback unless it just want to go for some sort of a ABC, irregular expanded flat. Irregular expanded flat is or can sweep the highs, which I'll come to that point as well. So for now, this is what I see. 1, 2, 3. This is the broadening top, which is also known as an irregular expanded flat again, and then we are running back turbo to 70,700. There is an alternative theory for Bitcoin over here, in my view. An alternative theory from a week off schematic perspective. Now, a lot of people would not agree with me, but let's just try and explore the week off schematic as well. So basically, this was our plan, 2 plans that we had on Bitcoin. We discussed everything. There is a bearish plan, there is a bullish plan. So we have both the plans, bearish as well as bullish. So at this point, both are likely at this point, but looking to the structure, I feel the bearish is more possibility at this point rather than bullish. So I am sticking with the bearish one at this point, unless it flips to 72,400 on daily or 4 hours candle, 3 consecutive 4-hour candle, not 2. Don't mistake in this one. This is going to be like the most fuck up scenario. You don't want to go with the 2 consecutive closure. You want to go with the 4 consecutive closure minimum for the 72,400 flip. So this is what is our alternative scope for a schematic. So let me just show you first. So this is our range highs, okay, and this is our range lows, okay. So this is our range highs, this is our range lows, and that's our 886. So you got to move on the downside, okay? What if this is like, a pre-number lunar eclipse? We literally nailed that we will be bottoming 2 or 3 days before it, and we're just going to start running back turbo after it. That's exactly, what's happening at this point perfectly. So what if this is like a, ST? What if this is like, or maybe not an ST, but what if this is like an AR, automatic rally? So if this is an automatic rally, we're likely going to see an ST over here, 1 more pull on the downside before the total solar eclipse. We dump, and then as and when the solar eclipse comes slowly and gradually, we start running back turbo to make the $80,000, or maybe even slightly under the $80,000, something like this, and then make another deviation, come back down. Eclipse season's over, the pump is over, and then we start doing something like this. So that is known as your week off schematic. Now, how many of you guys knows about it? What kind of week off schematics we are talking here? So schematic 1 or schematic 2, both the schematics are possible over here at this point, but why I think this can be a very nice distribution, because every time we have blown past the previous all-time highs of 69.1, Bitcoin have seen a sharp rejection or move on the downside for more than 10% move, which clearly tells me that someone is literally trying to offload their bags over there. Now this is going to be like a very I would say it's like a tough stance on BTC, very, very tough stance at this point, but this is a possibility in my view. There are two possibilities: week of schematic 1 and week of schematic 2. Now we're just going to decide what exactly the schematic we want to play. So let me show you both the schematic, so that you guys understand basically what can happen with Bitcoin, because we need to prepare ourselves for both the cases, both the scenarios, and how are we going to play actually. That's very important. How you guys are going to make money out of it. That's very, very important actually for me, because finally we want to make money, okay? So the first schematic is this. This is the schematic 1, okay? We are talking about right now what you're seeing on the screen that I've drawn. That is not a schematic 1, that is schematic 2. If we go with the schematic 1, then what's going to happen is that BTC is likely not gonna give you that dump that easily. So basically what it's gonna do is over here, that as per the schematic, so after the eclipse we are definitely going to see some dump, but the dump is not gonna make the new lows. It's just probably going to dump to maybe somewhere around like $62,000, but it's not gonna go anything under the range lows of 60,700, and we just simply just form a range. That is the range we really want Bitcoin to, because that is where alts are going to pump a lot, and after that Bitcoin just forms another triple top sort of a thing, and you can also say UT80 over there, and then we start seeing a nasty move on the downside like this. So that is the schematic distribution 1 for what you're watching. So I'm just going to save it over here. We're just going to follow this. That is SCHEM1, SCHEM1. Okay, so we're gonna follow here. So that is our schematic 1, and I hope you guys have viewed this schematic. What does this schematic means? That you already got a buying climax over here. That you see we got a sharp move on the downside with a bearish engulfing candle on forwards time frame, but despite the fact we got a V-shaped recovery and pumping back up to $74,000. That is what known as a buying climax. This is the volume is huge. As you can see, there is a huge volume, and the price it just speed up literally to take the highs actually, and that's exactly what it happened. After that you got a AR move, automatic rally on the downside. Well, another sell-off happened to fill the whole fair value gaps that we had and testing the support, and after that we got another ST move. So right now we are in ST in my view. So if this is an ST over here, which is likely going to end up around 72,400, it should not sweep the highs. It should not go beyond 73,850. Then this whole week of schematic is likely going to invalidate in my view at that point of time. Now this is what the most important part about this week off. So we have invalidations as well for the week off. Anything above 73,800, this schematic literally invalidates. Okay, then we literally move on to our basics of practically basics of having Elliot wave theory, and we're just going to have more and more confidence with it. But this is the week off, and probably this is how you should be looking to play for the next few days. In case if we are rejecting from 72,400, then yes, definitely we should be aiming for move on the downside to solve in phase B, which will be around $60,000 and maybe even 59,500. Can even go to $59,300, but it was just like a wick and just going to have a V-shaped recovery towards $76,000, $77,000. So I don't see BTC going anywhere under 58,000 at this point. 58,000 is going to be your strong support. So we are not going anywhere under 58,000. Hence, it don't make sense for us to sell our spot bags at this point. No, it's a clean no. We are not selling our spot bags. That is for sure. Okay, let's move on to the schematic 2. So what is your schematic 2, guys? We have a scam 1, we have a scam 2. The scam 2 is going to be here. Similarly, even scam 2 is going to have an invalidation. The invalidation of scam 2 is also going to be the range highs. If BTC literally takes the range highs of 73,700 now, right now, in the sense right now, if it takes it, which means that the whole point of the schematic 1 and 2, the week off, literally gets invalidated at that point of time. And why I feel at this point that the week offs are going to play out, I'll just going to tell you very, very soon once we go to the USD DOM chart. A lot of people, you already know about it because I've already posted in my corner. That's something we need to be watching it. So this is our scam 2. The only difference over here is in both the schematic is, yes, in this schematic 2, we don't get a UT80 in phase 2. Basically, what does it mean? That this is your, base really here, and you buying climax, you have AR. This is ST that's happening. We get a solvent phase B, like sweeping the lows. And then we get a nice pump, before or maybe very much close to the eclipse season pumping towards 79,000, maybe even $80,000. I don't. But and then after that, what happens is we likely go down to something like this, and maybe even going to 60,000. For again, making a range, pumping back up to 74,000. And then start dumping. So that's where, in my view, this is how then your schematic 2 is going to play out. It means that we only get one top, and that top is likely going to be the only top, the new top that we might be looking for like few months actually, because that is going to be our full and final top for like a bigger distributive range, after which I'm expecting it to go down towards the equilibrium, which we have around $46,800 if this schematic plays out. At this point, I'm not sure how far we're going to play out because we are very early in this point. Only and only if we do get a sweep of the lows, towards 59,200, then this schematic, starts playing out, and we are likely going to play these whole swings actually. We won't miss it, guys. We won't miss it. Now, a lot of people might be, impatient, and they will be asking me, hey, are we shorting it? Hey, are we shorting? I would say, guys, we are in an uptrend. In an uptrend, I don't feel very comfortable in shorting anything actually. And I don't even would tell you, because what happens is in an uptrend, okay, the falls are going to be ignored, very, very quickly. But any good news that comes in, it's going to play out very fast actually. So that's why you really don't want to be on the wrong side shorting it. Yes, we might be literally, what we might do is we might hedge our spots, or you can hedge it, or maybe you just want to play like 2x leverage short with a very tight stop loss. Literally exit it. Don't keep on adding margins, because that is where you literally, try to add more and more liquidity in the market actually. So that's what the plan that I have for Bitcoin on the hard-term time frame at this point. Talking about the USD DOM now, let's come to the most important part of stream is USD DOM. This is the only point of worry that I have here for the USD dominance, ladies and gentlemen. Now, USD dominance is we got a nice impulsive move, and we nailed it because we knew that this was coming. Few days back when I mentioned this, USD dominant on the daily is literally bottom. So this is what I see, that we got a new move on an upside in like a 3 waves ABC. Then you got a move on the downside with a sharp move on the downside, another 3 waves ABC, another up move that we got on a 3 waves ABC, and now we're getting a 5 waves. 1, 2. Wave 3 is in. Wave 4 is likely in, or maybe one more push up, and then we're gonna get one more boom on the downside towards 3.99%. And this harmonic is very solid in my view. If you really see, this whole move as ABC, this harmonic is likely going to play out, and this is where it makes me tough to say that it's going to be very, very tough, because BTC, above the range or very close to 886 makes us very, very bullish, because that makes everyone feel that we are likely going to pump more actually. And that's exactly what everyone feels for the USD DOM. Anything under the range lows, this is our range lows that we are having around 4.02%. Anything under that is what gonna make people more and more bullish. It's like it's like we are just going to dump more and more and more. So that's where things get a little tricky actually. That's the only issue. So yes, we do have a plan. Just hold on. Okay, perfect. So it's like, this is, even if USD dominance is going to go to 3.9%, which I feel it's going to go, we are not going to short it. Why? Because practically it is under every level screams that, that it's going to dump more and more and more. But no, I would be like, let's start taking profits, book profits, and maybe, we need to just write the spots that we have, spots and chill, just in case if it starts reversing and it starts flipping the 4% levels back, then it would be like, a big reversal in my view. So let's say if it dumps to 3.9, we get out, and once it reclaims the levels of 4%, once it reclaims it, get the fuck out of it, and we just likely going to have a nice impulsive move on USD Dom. So then later, the USD dominance is expected to run to 4.95 and maybe even 5% levels, which means that not only Bitcoin is going to dump, it means that everything else is going to dump, whatever it is. So basically, whatever we are having it, maybe Atom, Aave, SNX, whatever, I do think at this point, we are likely going to book some profits over here, even if it looks great to me actually. So it's better to stay out of the market. We already made good gains. Why to give away? I mean, just in expectation of 5 to 10% more upside move. So that is quite tricky actually at that point of time. So that's what the plan that I have for and this is the only problem that I have. I mean, this whole harmonic have been a bit worried to me actually. If this harmonic would have not formed, I would have, not been worried actually. I would have told you, we are going to moon, we are going to 100K, we are going to 150K. I mean, I would have literally told you, but this harmonic is something which is really, really hampering me a lot actually. And normally the harmonics, whatever I normally draw, the harmonics play out normally, like 90% probability is there for this harmonic to play out as well. It's a perfect harmonic I've seen so far. And the very likelihood of being played out. In fact, it goes perfectly with the wave count as well, with ABC move on the downside. So I do think, this harmonic is a very high chance of being playing out. So this is what I have now. Talking about few of the alts, Atom is going good. I do think Atom is going to run and going to try to flip the 12.5. Once it flips the 12.5, it can do a very nice reversal. So practically 12.5 is now our, a zone where Atom needs to, just reclaim it. I mean, basically this is even 12.8 was going to be the good levels for Atom. So once it just reclaims it would be nice. So let's have an eye, let's have eyes on those levels. For now, we are riding it 7% upside on, Atom so far. So let's just hold and let's ride for now. Further, I also see that, the Atom Bitcoin is getting some traction. So basically, I'm expecting Atom BTC to start outperforming, but we need a push on Atom Bitcoin. So if Atom BTC starts pushing, I think, we're likely going to see a nasty move on an upside. Everything else, in my view, a lot of also looks great, a lot of also don't look great. For example, waves on heart and time frame looking so amazing. This is the coin probably, in my view, this week probably can make a big win or banger. It's now very much close to our going back to our entry wave spot basically, and I'm really feeling good about it at this point. It's looking great to me actually. It's really looking great. It can literally do 4.8, 4.75, maybe even can do 3x as well. Practically, it really looks great to me actually. The waves practically. Talking about sand went very close to my break even, guys, but right now it's just moving it 733 to 757. I am literally out of this waves sand actually. You should all be out of the break even, guys. So I promised you that yes, I got into this trade actually. Little miscalculations. It went way under our stop loss for the spots. And yes, we had a manual stop loss, which is like a savior. We didn't lose anything actually. So practically we're just going to get out of break even very soon. I've already set my limit order as 0.739. That's where my break even is. Automatically when it's go there, it's going to hit and I'm going to get out with no profit, no loss. It can pump to 79 cents, but I'm just simply going to not touch it because of a weekly engulfing candle on sand. And I've mentioned, how I would like to see sand playing out. So this is what I would like to see. One more move on the downside, wick the lows, and then run back turbo would be very, very nice for sand specifically. So that's what I have for, sand overall. Talking about waves and sand, we already mentioned. One more alt that I like is, OPSEC. So I was just going through the OPSEC over here, and where was the chart? Oh, OPSEC chart was perfect here. So this is the OPSEC chart that we have on the daily time frame. Now it's already did a it's already at a $2.3. Right now, what I'm expecting OPSEC to do is to flip the green box. Once it flips the green box, guys, on the daily, or even I would say, yes, daily would be nice. So I would be expecting it to go to 4.13 immediately, which is likely going to be your, a very interesting move on an upside. Practically just flip the, 2.5 on daily, and you're going to get another 60 to 65% move on an upside. Practically, it's going to be a good ride. So have your eyes on this coin. Wait for the flip. Do not enter right now. Wait for a close on daily above 2.5, and the long is going to get triggered. Okay, this is the plan. So if you don't flip, no longs. Okay, we're just going to have patience. Basically, then our longs, if we don't flip it, then our longs will be here around 1.4, like retesting of the trend line that we have. And then again, it goes for a breakout, and then we go right. So basically, this is how the accumulation is happening at this point on OPSEC. One more alt that I'm literally looking or aiming for is C-Pool. It's a RWA token or a coin. Basically, we literally got in this coin at 17 to 15 cents. I've DCA'd very nicely, and I'm expecting, this coin, my average entry on this coin is around 15.5 on basically, and it's almost like went like 100% up on this coin. I think this is the potential of doing at least 4 to 5x in a very conservative target, but I think this is really looking good. Now if you just talk from the FIPS perspective, let's talk from the FIPS perspective. So this is your range highs over here, and this is where the range lows over here. So this is where I'm expecting, C-Pool to do at least, I would say 565 to 7618. That is going to be my primary target for this whole run up. Can even do 13618. It all depends on how bigger the impulsive move or how big the hype would be for C-Pool. But yes, it can do. So right now we are rejecting from 2414. Overall, the market looks good for C-Pool. If you're not in, I would say wait for it to give you the dip around 22 cents to 21 cents. But my target initially for C-Pool is around 1.8. So if it flips 30 cents, I would say it would be good to buy some, because it can go 3x easily to 1.18. That's our bull target. This bull run target minimum 3x to 565. An extended target would be 7618, which is going to be 8x, easy peasy. This is also a possibility. A lot of alts did it. And the most overextended target, just in case a big hype comes in and something happens with the C-Pool, like big hype coming in, then you can expect C-Pool to literally go nuts and give you 10 to 12x gains actually. So that's what you need to be looking or watching for, C-Pool at this point. So that's going to be like 120x gains on C-Pool. I'm like, this is like 13601. It's like the topmost notch of the C-Pool basically. Now let's also study on the coin Gecko how much is the current market cap and how much is the possibility based on the based on the competitor. So what the C-Pool competitor market cap have been, how big it was, and what C-Pool can go actually. So let's do that. I'm doing it C-Pool right now. Current market cap of C-Pool is $124 million. So yes, $124 million. And if you just look at from the competitor perspective, you get a very interesting Odeon is one of the coin. Let's see what market cap it has. I'll just probably be looking to max. it went to it almost went to 600 million market cap. So even if we say that the current market cap of C-Pool is 124 million, so 12 5s are 60, so 5x is a possibility in my view, which is very reasonable in my view. And hence 1.8 to 2.7 makes it a very interesting target for C-Pool. So practically anywhere from this is making a very interesting target. 7618, like very reasonable target for us from the current price for C-Pool. Like 8x is a possibility in my view, so I would not go beyond that. So I think 2.7 would be my ultimate target for C-Pool, which is going to give us a market cap overall of roughly around 12 5 60, almost close to $1 billion actually for C-Pool, almost close to. And RWA is booming, so practically yes, there will be a lot of billion dollar coins that RWA is going to give us. I think C-Pool has that capability of doing it. So there are two possibilities. Either you can buy above 30 cents on flip of 30 cents, wait for the daily closure above it, or you can just wait for the dips to happen at 21 cents or 22 cents. Your invalidation levels for this whole trade will be 12 cents, so you need to compute your risk and probably enter what you can afford to lose actually. Okay, this is finally this it all depends on how big the hype is actually. So this is what we are talking about C-Pool. Let's also check the ORI. Let's have a look at the ORI. Just going to check the daily time frame. So ORI already seems to be like making waves and like breaking up the highs, practically like a W pattern formation. This is not a perfect W with a neckline, so this is going to be a W. This has a perfect neckline. So practically, you really want the retest of the neckline. So the neckline retest for this whole thing would be somewhere around, in my view, anywhere from 10.9 to 9.9. That's where ORI should be giving us a perfect retest over here. So I would like to see ORI be giving a retest. So first of all, the setup that we have perfectly matches with what we have for the Bitcoin. So you just take the liquidity around, maybe somewhere around, just go here, reclaim the range lows, run back up again. So that's how I am expecting ORI. It is going to run back up. The target for this big W, in case if you don't know the W targets, this is not a Adam and Eve. No, first of all, this is not a cup and handle. No, that's a perfect W actually you have. So the target for the ORI would be the W neckline to the W bottom here. So that is going to be your minimum target from this neckline, which would be taking ORI to around somewhere close to $112. If that is the case, then I think it would be good investment to buy ORI for a long term from 10.5 to $9.9 and hold for like another 8 to 9x gains, can even do 10x as well. But this is the going to be overall target. If ORI starts losing that green box around 9 point or starts closing daily under 9.9, then we have a problem. Then probably we might be exploring some lower target of 4.5, 4.8. But at this point, I don't see any much bearishness at this point. So this is like a perfect opportunity, like a retest that's going to happen, and will be a nice buy the deep opportunity in my view for ORI actually. So practically I think this is the perfect W pattern this is a perfect W pattern I'm watching on ORI chain basically. NXRA, let's also check NXRA over here. So I'm just going to check NXRA. Well, NXRA is perfectly having a very interesting pattern, the way Bitcoin had actually. How many of you guys remember this pattern? How many of you guys just look at this pattern, try to remember yourself. If you are a trader, you should be knowing this pattern. Tell me, anybody remembers it? I'll show you. If you don't remember, I'll show you. The pattern is here. Look at this. I know my chart is a little bit messy, but this is what it is. Look at here. Where is the brush? Yeah. So you got a nice uptrend over here, a move, sideways correction, a move on the downside, sweep the lows, and we start running back turbo. And that turbo was like a big turbo. A similar sort of a thing we are seeing over here on NXRA. So just a very similar sort of thing. I'm just watching it. You got a nice upside move, a little sideways correction, strong upside, sweep the lows, and then we started running back up. So practically, I think NXRA is literally going to see a very nasty move on an upside. I think 100% move is guaranteed. If it already did 100% move, then it's fine. But yeah, 44 cents is a minimum possibility in my view, and which is very likelihood. 100% gains. Practically from here, I would be expecting like 3x, correct? So I'm expecting NXRA to do a minimum of 45 cents. Max it can go in my view, if it just wants to extend, it can go to 81 cents at this point. So this is going to be, a very interesting 1-2-1-2 case. And if it flips the 81 cents, then we are going for a full-blown bull run for NXRA for like 3.1. But yes, it is bullish. This is really bullish actually. NXRA is literally bullish. You also have a strong support now. This is going to be your range highs over here. So that's your range highs. Practically, that's your new support actually. That's going to be a new support. So that's all for NXRA. Now, I think, guys, everything depends on BTC and everything depends on our plan for how the top is going to play out. Maybe one more push on the downside. Maybe it's going to just simply run from here. Let's see what we get it. But I do think one more push is possibility. And after that push, I'm expecting a move on the downside, guys. So we have to book profits. And I would say we have to slightly be, quick in booking the profits, guys. So that's all for today's stream, and I hope you like it. So just press the like button, guys, and I don't need further. So that's all. Thanks a lot. Have a nice night. Take care.